The police have finally got a direction in which to take this investigation.
Bill pulled the trigger. This was to get some insurance money or something from Pam, like 500.
This explosive videotaped interview gives police a clear motive and implicates Pamela Smart in her husband's murder. Yet it comes as no surprise to police, who already think that Pam has been acting bizarrely from the moment they started talking to her.
We met with her in an interview room, and she began immediately to tell us when she opened up the door. She saw that this must have been a burglary because there were speakers off the stand. It seemed kind of strange that she had keyed in on speakers missing from a stand. It seemed at the time that her focus should have been on her husband who was laying there.
Police noticed that Pam didn't seem to be very emotional when they finally got a chance to interview her just hours after her husband had been murdered. You weren't emotive enough for people's taste.
Yes.
What do you make of all that?
Well, I wasn't very emotional. I think I was in shock, you know.
You were the ice princess.
Right. And I think that people's perception is interesting because, like, I was watching something where it was JFK's funeral and Jackie Kennedy Onassis was standing there and she never shed a tear. And everyone was like, she's so stoic. You know, nobody said she was an ice princess.
There was no proof that Pamela Smart had anything to do with this, but her actions really did make a lot of people, including investigators, step back and say, wait a minute, does she have something to do with this?
My law enforcement friends told me that after I interviewed Pam Smart, that she became even more of a prominent suspect in their eyes because of what she said in that interview. And they said specifically, she talked about things that she couldn't have known about.
It just seems to have been a situation where Greg didn't know what was happening.
She knew critical factors about what that crime scene looked like. How could she talk about what this apartment looked like when she wasn't allowed in there? That I expected that she would be breaking down, and yet that emotion never came.
Sometimes I ask myself, I can't figure out where the strength is coming from.
But the weirdest part of the interview was we were talking about Greg, and she said something to the effect of, if you think about it, this couldn't have happened at a better time.
You know, there's no better time in his life for this to happen.
And I said, what? Like, this couldn't have happened at a better time because if you think about it, had we been married for 20 years, I would have loved him that much more. I couldn't wrap my mind around that.
When the murder first happened, you brought the media into your home and gave interviews, talked about it.
No, I talked to one person, Bill Spencer, and he was hounding every day, calling us, saying that he was running with the story that Greg owed gambling debts in Atlantic City and he owed money to the mafia. And they were saying, are you gonna give us a comment? Because if you're not gonna give us a comment, we're running with this story. And it was like, wait a minute, my husband's not even buried. Like, what do you mean you're running with the story? Because we went to Atlantic City a lot, but he didn't owe anybody any money and he wasn't killed because of that. I was pressured basically to try to defend him. So I did.
I wouldn't say I pressured Pamela Smart into doing that interview at all. That call came to me. I didn't make the call to her that morning. She called me.
Pam has an answer for everything the police called suspicious. So, who do you believe?
The police definitely don't believe Pam Smart. There's a whole lot of smoke, but no fire yet. They have the videotaped interview from a high school kid who said she offered $500 for murder. They find her interview peculiar, but none of this adds up to murder until they make a stunning connection.
So these boys, it turns out, are students at the same school where Pam Smart works.
Not only do these kids go to Winnicott High School, where Pamela Smart works, she's close to them because she's working on a school project with them.
Now there's a connection. There's a connection between the gun, the three boys, and Pamela Smart.
Pam meets Billy Flynn through this Project Esteem, that she is running at Winnicott High School, where she talks to teenagers about their troubles and tries to help them with their issues. There's a gigantic dichotomy between Derry, New Hampshire, where Pamela Smart lives, and Seabrook, where Billy Flynn and these boys lived. Seabrook is a gritty, working-class area.
And in comes Pamela Smart, and she must have seemed like a fairy princess.
So Billy Flynn is 16 years old. He's attending Winnicott High School. He plays guitar. He wants to be a rock musician. There's nothing imposing about this guy. He's a skinny, guitar-playing teenager.
I met Bill, who was kind of making me feel like I was the greatest thing on the earth.
He was charming.
He was, and I guess at that point I was so low that I needed that boost.
You were vulnerable.
Yeah, I was.
Pam learned about a contest for high school kids in which they made a commercial about orange juice. So she got the kids together and said, hey, you can win a trip to Disneyland if you want to make this commercial.
Pam already knows Billy because she's in this Project Self-Esteem with him, and she asked him to be the cameraman.
This put Pam and Billy in very close proximity. She directed it, he wrote the music for the commercial.
We still need energy and vitamin C to keep in shape and stay healthy. My friends and I start out the day the Florida Orange Juice Nutritional Way.
I meet Pam Smart, and she's beautiful, she's intelligent, you know, she's an adult, and she likes me.
As the police begin to dig, they can't help but wonder about the strange hold that Pamela Smart has on these teenage boys, especially the long-haired kid, Billy Flynn.
The cops soon discover that Pamela Smart has been having an ongoing illicit affair with her teenage student, Billy Flynn.
But another student from that very same high school is about to betray Pam with a secret recording.
I'm afraid one day you're going to come in here and you're going to be quiet. And I'm going to be busted.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.